Show us your tips, Daggy, with you for Golden Slipper Day. We've got Rosehill and Moonee Valley to get stuck into this morning. Two very good cards. Looking forward to seeing how both of them play out on the back of a good day out for the boys last weekend. And thanks for all the kind comments that have come through during the week in regards to that. But we'll try and back up and see if we can do it again. Such a good day, in fact, that Beaver took off on holidays and didn't tell me till last night. So that was very nice of him. But I hope he's enjoying another trip up to Noosa there. We, however, need to get stuck into Rosehill, where it's Golden Slipper Day, 10 race card. The rail moves to the 2 metre position. They haven't put much water on the track this week, so after what's happened last week, some rain earlier this week. Currently soft 5. I just say it will get to a dead, so they'll put up a good 4 tomorrow. Treating it as fair for all intents and purposes right now. We kick off with a 1,500 metre midway, benchmark 72 as usual. And looking for some fresh blood here to the lead-up, which comes in the form of a Wrathful. McAvoy, Sam Kavanagh. Trial was very good leading up to this. Swooper's Gate, Clear Air, and some really nice form last time out through Miracle Spin. And the other thing, Naval College, the other thing, Nishams that I've just forgotten. Stacks up well here and have gone that way from the winner of the lead-up, which was Kingston Charm. $15, gate 1 is the issue, but was strong through the line there, and no knock at all coming back here. Hopefully can posse a little closer. We'll make it the danger. Electrica flying at the moment. Molly Burke again. I'll leave it at that. And you can do worse than throw a Raleigh in here, I think, coming back from some group stuff to midway grade at the 20s. India trifectas might produce something nice for us. Race 2, is a 2,400 metre Manion Cup for the stays at group level. And I'm just going to back the connections here and say that Post Impressionist is going to be on top. Willie Haggis gets this right more often than not when he brings one of these out for one of these staying races over autumn. Marquand booked, Swooper's Gate. Let's be honest, not much to beat here. Clearly on top from Almania, who's going really well, and off that Canberra win, once it got out in distance, has put in 2 really good runs, so it's going to be the main danger for me. So United will roll forward as usual and be the one they have to get past. The third is the Epona Stakes, 1,900 metres for the girls Group 3. Very tricky race. I'm going to go each way here on top with Little Mix, who had to sit outside lead over the mile last time out. Was quite brave holding on there. Worked hard. Blake Shin now jumps on. Swooper's Gate. It's mapped back, right back by New South Wales, which is a bit of concern. But if Blake can find a decent spot, I think it's going to run really well here. Going to make Osmos the Danger's been very honest. Well, it's last 4 or 5 starts. Will posse up as usual for Tim Clarke. Just straight on the back of the stablemate. And be hard to beat. Does need a win, though. And I'll have something again on Gang Terrain, for lack of better pronunciation from me, at 50s, who I didn't mind the work going in. It wasn't a bad run. Widest runner there in the lead-up, and well worth taking a snipe at that price to see if we can get a bit of a result. A good one for your early quaddie as well. The fourth is the Derby Munro Stakes. Very good 3-year-old race here, and I'm going to play around. I really like the opportunity to bet here with a bracket and play around these 3 leaders, which are all from the Waterhouse Botyard. Red Resistance, the Novelist, and Kazard on the back of them, who's 50s. They just can completely control the pace of this race with Nash, Hippo, Tim Clarke leading. I think they can wobble around the bend, and they're going to be pretty close to fighting at a finish. And right now the price is, as I said, 40s at the moment. I'm looking at this screen for Kazard. Red Resistance, $9. The Novelist, 13. Going to cover each of them and see what we can get out of this race. But there's other bits and pieces here. If you're interested in Swartz, who's a top horse, wouldn't knock you at all, will be the one camping right in the back of them. Corniche was a nice resumption. And Brave Mead, we know what we get with it. Very honest conveyance. But I like the opportunity there to see if we can't get a result out of the Gaybots. The first of the Group 1 is a 2,000 metre weight for age Ranvet Stakes it is. That's the one. And terrified of these 2 imports, Plastic Carousel and Via Sistina. for the Wally and Friedman yards, respectively. But going with the map again, and very easy to think it over here. Nash getting complete control. Jump, lead, win, as Darren likes to say. And I can see it just bouncing straight in the pace because there's nothing else here that will even remotely want to take it on. They'll jiggy jog for 1,200 metres. Nash will be off and gone. The other two will flash home and just miss. So that's why I can see this race panning out unless something like Military Mission really wants to go crazy. But it hasn't shown a great deal of intent at all recently. So, yeah, that's how I've seen it. I wouldn't fall off my seat if Via Sistina did run it down, but just absolute every favour here for Nash on a leader. Interesting race up next, last leg of the early quaddie, and that is the Rosehill Guineas for the 3-year-olds. Again, over 2,000 metres. And look, market's in the right order, I'll say that, which is Riff Rocket from Tom Kitten, King Colorado Immediacy. Had I can make a case for all four of them. I had real trouble splitting them up. For the sake of this show and a tip, I'm going to go with Tom Kitten on top. I think he should have won last start. Just never, ever got a crack till late. We know how much it flew once it got to 2,000 metres last time out. I suggest this has probably been the goal all along. The fly in the ointment of my thinking is Nash has decided to jump onto Riff Rocket, whether that's been... whether he's pulled rank or whether Waller's asked him nicely, whether it's pre-existing booking. I haven't listened to any media. Not sure, but going to go Tom Kitten on top from Immediacy, who just hasn't put a foot wrong any start. And Tarzino Colt just looks like keeps getting up in distance, is just going to keep suiting. I assume it's going to be very hard to beat in the Derby, but this is a nice next step. King Colorado, EIPH, last time out, those 4 letters on the backup tend to result in winners, as we'll get to one later on as well. So next best, and Riff Rocket, live chance. Absolutely wouldn't knock anyone who just wants to just steam in and say it's arguably best horse and set up for this. But very tricky race. Looking forward to seeing how the path of the Derby continues. The George Ryder Stakes is up next. Group 1, 1,500 metres, and another very tricky race here. I've ended up coming back to think about it on top. A couple of concerns for me, the gate, whether it gets snagged right back, and the fact Lady Laguna gave it a start and a beating last time out. But it was a very good first up end of the day. I think it's been set for further, whether it's a Doncaster, whether it's further down the road, whether it's even something like a Cox Plate in spring. But for now, I think it's going to be much further forward than it obviously was first up. So I'm going to put it on top. I think the extra distance is against Lady Laguna here. And I'm going to just have a couple of spec bets on a few drawn out wide. We know, well, love looking for these outside gates in fields like this. First up, Kovalika, who is very good, resuming, swooping down the outside for Nash. It's outside gate. You can get the best part of 20 to 1 there. And New Energy, whose Australian debut was quite good, lightly raced, and I think can fit in here. Swooping as well for Jay Collett, but some other numbers we'll get to when we get to the quaddie. Militarised, Live Hope. I haven't been thrilled backing these 3-year-olds against open horses in these group races. So that's why I've just gone around it here. The feature is the Golden Slipper, world's richest race for 2-year-olds. At least I think it still is. And I've gone with the fact we've got the much spruce clash of the 2 Coolmore colts, but I've gone with the fact that the first 6 horses on this map are trained by Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. They're going to have complete control of this pace. Whether Stormboy wants to push through and lead, whether Straight Charge leads and it just sucks along right behind it, we'll see. But then they've got the cavalry riding behind it, riding shotgun. So I can see this being an absolute setup for Stormboy. I've gone that way. The more this week's gone on, the keener I've got. No rain, nothing else that's really going to come outside the box. I think it's clearly the horse to beat and one of the better bets on the program, to be honest. From Lady of Camelot, who's very good in the Blue Diamond, got cooked there. Gone back and had a sensational trial since. It's going to tag right on that pace as well. I'll make it the main danger. And obviously, Switzerland is here to run really well. That's the way J-Mac's gone, or been told to go, and is a Live Hope. I just think it's going to need a bit of luck and to be really good to run down these leaders up front. Very good race. Looking forward to seeing it pan out. Another very good race on an absolute great card. I've got to say that Really enjoyed getting through this, even though some of these races didn't necessarily give me heaps of answers. The 1100 metre Galaxy is next, another Group 1 here, and I've already backed Kallos at 100 to 1. Mad price. Great run in the Oakley Plate. Arguably wrong part of the track. Widest runner. The race shape just didn't pan out at all. Before that was fantastic first up. I think can redeem itself at a crazy price. Haven't had one of these hits. We got Renosu right last spring. So fingers crossed. Let's see how we go. On top for me, swooping down there for Aussie Tom. Private Eye, next best, and will be a nice result in this race for me as well for Nash. I don't know what happened first up. Snagged right back, hit the line really well. Nash has kept the job. Unbeaten 1100 metres, very good sprinter, and will be in the finish here. Very excited to bet in this race, actually. Again, other bits and pieces. Sunshine in Paris has come back okay. Uncommon Jane's great trial in Queensland. Passive aggressive resumed with a win, but hopefully we can get some blue joy for the first time in months in Sydney. We're going to wrap up with the Birthday Card Stakes, which is a 1200 metres for the girls. Not a horse I'm ever comfortable tipping, but I have to look at the obvious and go with Alentia in the last. Nice resumption. We've seen Samana come out and see me the early crow thing is going to win last week, but very good resumption there. I think easy enough race for it here. J-Mac. It's on top from Sounds of Heaven. This international has trolled really well, trucked around it in a couple of trials. It's on the drift this morning, but here to run well, I think. So I'll make it the next best. And Rainbill, no luck at all last time out, was building, and is building to a win, and this could well be it. Good race, though. Good race. Let's look at a quaddie, though. Let's see if we can juice something out of this tricky card. First leg, I'll go with 1, Think About It, 4, Kovalika, 11, New Energy, 15, Lady Laguna, 16, Militarize. Second leg, we'll go with 1, Stormboy, 7, Switzerland, 8, Bodyguard, just a couple at a price in case something really mad happens, 14, Lady Camelot, and we'll go 13, Hayasugi. He's never been beaten, so at least this prep is flying, so why not cover on it? The sprint will go 1, Private Eye, 5, Aft Cabin, 7, Kallos, 10, Passive Aggressive, 11, Sunshine in Paris, 13, Osmosis, who's the one I'm tempted to leave out. 3, Alencia in the last, 7, Sounds of Heaven, 8, Ring Bill, 11, Tashi to wrap us up. From memory, $100 was about a sixth of that. Get 2 of those splits, be a nice result. My best on the card, you know what, it's a big day, let's play bullish. Let's go race 8, number 1, Stormboy as the best, and obviously my value, race 9, number 7, Kallos, at 100 to 1. Give it strength. Moonee Valley we've got next as we head down for another Group 1 meeting, and I scroll up, there we go. With the rails in the true, good track, good weather, all systems go. Obviously, the usual caveats about the Valley, whereas we want to make sure the bias isn't too extreme, but during the day, true track, swoopers should be in play, I'm hoping. Going to kick off with a 20-40 metre benchmark 84, and I had questions about every one of these runners, and that left me with me putting the best horse with questions on top. That's Marquez. Should push forward. Couldn't find a lot of other pace here. Problem is it's a month off, 1,400 metres at 2,000. Yeah, doesn't leave me that excited. I wanted to put Flossing on top because I thought it is the other pace factor here. But again, another month off, at least a mile to 2,000. They're the two. Yeah, not a great deal of confidence if you couldn't tell, but that's how I've seen the first. The rest of these have been slightly disappointing or as well have sort of question marks over them. The second is a 1,200 metre Valley Pearl for the 2-year-olds. And I'm going to go with Growing Empire on top for the Mars stable. Should have beaten Chateau Miraval on debut. Kenzo decided to go to the bar early via the outside running rail. But Gate 1 can follow the rail around. I think it's a talented horse. Has had 2 trials since. Both have been great. One on pace, one quietly where it really ate the lineup. So on top for me, from Bitter Creek, who's been pretty good. I liked its run in the Talendert on debut there. Chugged around really well and did the same in a trial since. And Spywire, after cooking Lady of Camelot for us in the Diamond, will lead and run well again. Still a live chance. The third, 2,500 metre benchmark, 78. Strawberry Rock does look the obvious. Two very nice runs without the greatest deal of luck chasing a Soliato Aramco. Not much better Saturday staying form than that. 2,500 metres, first time question mark, but again, a lot of these are in the same boat. I'm going to put on top from Yarrawonga, obviously disappointing last time out. They've sent down Lewis to right here. Hung out there last time out at the Valley, slugged around the bend. I think would be better for that run, having seen the Valley and can improve. Would not shock me if it won this by a couple of lengths. Yeah, it's a slow start to the day in Melbourne. The fourth is a 1,500 metre benchmark, 84. And they've managed to find every horse in Melbourne that hasn't won at benchmark 80 level for 3 years and throw them all together, all bar a couple. And now the couple that I've found here, the first one is Scratch. Fortunate Kiss is out, so it doesn't help me. So I'm left with Farhh Flung on top. I think there's still a price about it, still double figures about it. Very good around this track last prep. Gets a nice enough run here. I don't actually understand why it's so long. Gate 5, cosy enough run. So I'm going to put it on top at the price from Frigid. Good horse, honest. Gate 2, Stalks, very good. And next best, Imperial Lad, who's coming off a win, will be up on pace with Taylor Childs on. We know where it's going to be. Only other one I'd think about for an early quaddie would be Regal Asmon, who is going better than... well, it was a good result. Should have won first up. Simple as that. And is an honest conveyance. The next is the Wait for Age mile race for the girls, and going with the Wait for Age Group 1 winner in Campionessa. Very good. Well, Group 2 it was last time, but does have a Group 1 or 2 to its name across the ditch. Very good last time out. Stalked the pace there. Gate 1 here, it's just going to count right on Wishlaw Lad, and is the best horse. It's a good day for the Kiwis, the rest of this card. So they couldn't beat us in the cricket, but I think they're going to take some prize money home from here. Clearly on top from Roll on High, who, when I did the form, I was like, I thought I'd found a cheeky one there, and I looked at the market, it was second favourite, so I assume everyone agrees. It's the main danger. Filly here, good resumption. Wishaw Lad pulled up lame. Valley suits, on pace suits, for giving that first up one. The Group 3 for the fillies is next. The Alexandra Stakes, sticking with the Kiwis again, certainly, is on top again for Opie Bossum, and it was a fantastic return there, winning. I've just lost my best bets. Where are we here? The race at 1 resumed there at 1,400 metres, mowing them down. It then, if you go back and look at its mile run, which was in the N11 Classic, it was a widest runner. I know it says 6 or 13, but the run was absolutely fantastic. Small field, best sprint. We know how good the Savabills are when they get to a mile, and we know how good these colours are in general, the Waikato stud colours. So on top, clearly, because I've had nothing Molly Knickers, it is the danger. It ran well enough. I don't know if the Valley's going to suit. Looks like she just takes forever to wind up. I would have liked it better in Adelaide, where she was also nommed. So certainly horse to beat, and at the price, my best of the day. The quaddie kicks off with the Alister Clarke Stakes, race 7. Opie's in for a good day here. Quintessa's on top, best finisher through the mile Guineas. Absolutely will eat up 2,000 metres now out of a high shap mare. Swooper's Gate, stay out of trouble. I think it'll win. Looking forward to betting with my little Kiwi mate Georgie at the pub tomorrow. Actually, he'll be happy as Larry cheering these blokes on. Yeah, no troubles here for Quintessa. It's on top and make the danger at a price and worth thinking about. Mornington Pier, it's 50s. It ate up the 1,800 metres Newcastle. We've seen that midweek form stack up so many occasions, from Sydney down to Melbourne, and very much going to have a live ticket on it. Goes in the quaddie, goes in everything I'm doing. Apulia won the spring equivalent of this under lights there last time out. He'll run well. That was quite a decent resumption there. Again, a Swooper's Gates. We do want to see them being in play, but we'll make that the other horse. Of note, the feature is the William Reid Stakes, 1,200 metre. Wait for Age. He's OP, what have I tipped him 4 straight, but how are they going to beat Imperatriz? Very, very good run where it pulled up. It was beaten by Cylinder, but pulled up with EIPH. As mentioned, they bounced back so well off that. Swooper's Gate, an arguably its best track, won't be ridden as forward. It will be swooping, which we've seen be her best runs. It'll just win this. From hypothetical at a price, let's say it's going to bounce around on that rail and be hard to beat. And Cylinder, the big colt, will run well again. Interesting where it gets to in the map. 3 or 4 back the fence won't be pretty viewing, I would suggest, at that time of the afternoon. The Don Casbolt Classic is next, 1200 metre for the 3-year-olds, are they still? Yeah, the fillies. These horses have been around forever. 3-year-old fillies, Group 3. Going to cover a couple here. I'm going to put Gumdrops on top. I like the resumption. I don't think it really travelled up the straight at all there. Just tucked in behind there, was exposed. Things to be ridden slightly quieter with a rail to follow. And at $10, it's on top. Nice horse. From Inhibitions, who's always been one of mine. We can cover both here. Very, very good resumption again. Handles a Valley. Unlucky a couple of times chasing Cur Volante, who we've not actually seen this autumn. But absolute life hope. Forgiving Lazargo last time out. Big price goes in the quaddie, as does Isthmus. And we're going to wrap up with a benchmark 84, 1200 metres. And we've lost 5 of these, most of which I was half interested in. I'm going to put Baldini on top. Honest horse, going really well. And the main reason is I don't want to tip Grand Impact of 2 years off. I just want to wait and see it. Whether I bet or not sure. But I was really actually interested in the chances of some of these scratchings. So I'll put Baldini on top. From Grand Impact, really good horse. If this gets truck loaded, obviously from this yard, it's ready to go. Maybe just stick with it. Next best, Extra 2 has the track and distance set up last time out and was good. Good card, but go the Kiwis tomorrow. I'm going to make my best. Race 6, number 2, certainly. Imperatrice will win as well. Yeah, Tiaco Colours to the 4 tomorrow. My value, race 4, number 8. Where are we? Number 11, Farhh Flung at $12. Looks value to me. And to throw out a quaddie, let's have a look. First leg will go 1 Apulia. I've not prepped for this, thinking it's Beaver's job. 4 Verdad. 12 Quintessa. 14 Into You. 16 Mornington Pier. Imperatrice, number 5. Yeah, let's live a little. 1 out. The 9th, 2 Lazargo. 3 Brazen Style. 4 Gumdrops. 5 Hip Hip Hurrah. 6 Inhibitions. 7 Diamond Decorator. 13 Isthmus. And we'll come home with 2 Grand Impact. 3 Baldino. 15 Extra 2, tossed up Papillion Club as well, but we'll just go with the 3 in the last, give that strength. Anything else from around Australia? I've not looked at Brisbane, can't help you there. Unfortunately, did look a tricky card. From Adelaide, there was, where are we here, Morpheville. We've obviously lost the mare I mentioned. Molly Nickers has stayed in Melbourne, but race 5, number 2, Salui, I think will run well there. Thanks for sticking around, putting up with me for the last 25 minutes. I'll be back next week, hopefully with Beaver. Plan is eventually, once the new channel's up and going a bit better, we will go with midweek racing from around Warrnambool. But definitely once we get into spring, midweek racing will be back, or midweek previews will be back Tuesday nights for next season. But until then, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for subscribing. Leave some comments, feedbacks. Let me know your best, because obviously I need all the help I can get at the moment. Check out Footy and Frothies. Rugby League Talk. The tip show is up there. You can find the channel. Twice a week we do a review, Barn and I, with Rugby League review show and preview show. Both tipped Penrith 13+, so nice start of the weekend. Take care, guys. Bring on the slipper.